Hello, hello, and welcome back to my channel, Jennifer's Story Time. And we're going to continue the series. We're on part two, and this time we're going to talk about Kenny Veach. So Kenny loved hiking. He disappeared on Monday, November 10th of 2014, and he told his family that he was going to be going on a short overnight trip to Sheep Mountains in Nevada. And Kenny, he was a really brave person. He loved to explore. And every cave that he came in contact with, he had to explore it. But the one that he found a month earlier was one in the Mojave Desert near Nellis Air Force Base in southern Nevada. And this one really caught his interest, but it kind of terrified him a bit, I think, too, because it was something that he's never encountered before. And I have a comment that Kenny wrote here. And he said, "This ain't nothing. I am a long distance hiker. One time during one of my hikes out by Nellis Air Force Base, I found a hidden cave. The entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital M. I always enter every cave I find. But as I began to enter this particular cave, my whole body began to vibrate. The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly, I became very scared and hightailed it out of there. That was one of the strangest things that's ever happened to me. So, this is wild. Like, am so intrigued right now. I can see why he became almost kind of obsessed with the idea of finding more out about this cave. So we're going to go ahead and continue here. So, this comment that he made sparked a lot of interest, and everyone was talking about this cave. So, after posting the original comment, a lot of YouTubers told him, you know what, you should go ahead and enter the cave again. But this time, we want you to record it as you go about your hike and provide all the evidence that you come up with during this journey. So, of course, he's like, okay, why not? Let's do it. So, Kenny later returned to the cave, taking with him a camera and a weapon before going about his way. So, he recorded a video about how he found this mysterious cave and he posted it on YouTube. But there weren't any exact coordinates or landmarks in the video, but it was just a really large desert area. So, in this next video, he posted, he was met with a lot of criticism. Of course, some YouTubers said, go ahead and do it, and provoked him to keep on going, go again, go for a third time, seek out this cave. And Kenny became really excited about this. He's like, okay, I'm going to do it. So, one comment that really stood out amongst the people, that were following him was this. And it says, no, do not go back there. If you find that cave entrance, don't go in. If you do, you won't get out. Oh my goodness. Okay, that is when I would have stopped in my tracks. Like, okay, I'm adventurous, but to a certain point, I would have stopped right there because that is really ominous, really creepy. Like, there's a vibe to it. Like, there's just something almost a little dark. Like, don't do it, And they were so certain. They didn't say, I don't think you should. They're like, don't do it. So the video I have here is just one of Kenny's videos. You can get the full video link in the description if you want to watch the whole thing. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of him, get his vibe if you don't know who he is.
Well, here I am on my hike up here in the mountains north of Las Vegas. This is a canyon I just walked up in. Now you can't tell, but my truck is way out there by the mountains at the very end of this valley. It's kind of like a big canyon. On the other side of these mountains, I'll show you in a second, is the bombing range, the Nellis Air Force bombing range. They do a lot of practice stuff out there. This is an old mine, and there's a hole here that just goes way down. I'll show you that. And then the last time I came up here, I hiked up to the top of what they call Gas Peak, and I spent the night. It was a 2-day hike, and then I hiked all the way down to another valley over here and went past this mountain range you see on my right, all the way back out to the flat desert. Now, the camera doesn't pick this up very well, but it's a long way. And I just romp around out here, do some solo hikes, and have some fun. My mission today is to just do a 1-day hike. It's about a 10-hour hike. I got to still go over another ridge and then go all the way down a big crest.
Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to show the whole video, but I just wanted to give you a vibe for his energy and kind of set the tone a bit, let you know what he was experiencing. And what happened next was definitely a mystery because all we really know is that Kenny's cave was never seen again after this trip. We can only imagine what happened to him. There's all different sorts of conspiracies. Was something unusual down in that cave? Was the cave much bigger than what he had originally thought? Maybe perhaps he got lost, maybe unable to find his way back to the surface. So this is really scary, you guys. And I, just feel like a personal connection watching his video. It really helps to bring people to life. And he seemed like a really good guy. He was just very adventurous. But on November 10th, 2014, Kenny set off to his last hike. He, told his family that he was going on this trip and he basically did not return. And his disappearance would soon be on the news station in Vegas, and the search was on. So they sent out a crew. They sent out some people to try to look for him, but unfortunately, nothing happened. There were lots of volunteers, but they didn't find any trace of him. They did find a mobile phone, but that was it. It was really weird. It was just so mysterious. But Kenny, he wasn't new to hiking, so it's just really weird that this would happen to him because you would think he would be so prepared. You saw the video. He didn't look like an amateur whatsoever. So, you can see how extensively he hiked if you watch the full video, if you watch some of his other videos. But there, were even comments about the Area 51 video, just really going into his experience. And you already know there's so much conspiracy involving Area 51. I might actually have to do a video on that one day because that always interests me. But we have a comment here. He says, thanks. I've been doing this sort of thing for over 20 years. I go where no one goes, and I never take anyone with me. I find skulls of all shapes and sizes, and occasionally I find really old animal traps. I hike over mountaintop after mountaintop and sleep on peaks under the stars. And sometimes I have to scale giant cliffs to get myself out of a jam, but I always make it back. And that's the key word. Like he always made it back. He knew exactly what he was doing. I'm sure he was more than prepared. So this is just really bizarre. Like the things that he said about this cave that sent vibrations through his body, the fact that he just never returned. So he ends it with, I'm beat up and tired, and my pack is almost always heavier than when I left. I had to be rescued only one time by a helicopter. I had blown out my left leg at the top of the mountain, and I only had a cup of water left to get me 20 miles back to my truck. It was also over 100 degrees out. So I have a very good safety record. So this just makes things, really just not add up. And I really think it had something to do with this mysterious cave. And don't forget to like and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you know exactly the moment that I drop new content. But let's go ahead and get back to our regularly scheduled program. And so this is really weird. Like he left his phone behind, which there were some speculations that this could have been because he may have taken his own life. And his girlfriend did mention that he struggled with depression and also that his father had passed. So maybe that contributed to the depression. So this was something, allegedly, because I can't speak to this without knowing for sure, but I just want to lay every possibility out there. And some thought that maybe he discovered a hidden entrance to Area 51, and maybe it was connected to aliens was another possibility for some. And I'm all about conspiracy theories, so I'm not going to rule any of these things out. But they did also say that he could have fallen down a mine shaft. So, a lot of different things here. But his girlfriend did address some other things. Like she did say, that he was not found and he probably wouldn't be found if for maybe months later, if ever at that time. And she was just really, talking about the good times they had together, how adventurous he was, and how he really just loved hiking. So that's the gist of it. It was a really long post that she made under his video, but I'm not going to go into the whole thing. And I'm sure you can find that information if you would like. But she did think that, he could have possibly taken his life. She did mention that there were over 30 search and rescue team members, and they searched 3 different times on foot. And also, there was a helicopter that flew over the area where he was, and there was no trace of him or any of his camping things. So, really strange stuff, you guys. This has really caught my attention because many people have so many different answers to what could have happened, and unsolved mysteries have always piqued my interest because I'm naturally a problem solver. So I'm always trying to figure something out, searching for the truth, just seeing what the other possibilities could be. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any information, please let me know in the comments because I searched high and low and there's still not a lot of information today. There's just a lot of speculation. But I will be dropping the next episode tomorrow, which will be part 3. And we'll get more into that later. I'm not going to keep you guys, but love and light. Be safe, and I will see you next time.